The following is for 2011 Math 112 test 3. In this video, I will do number 23 and number 24. Number 23. What is 36 2/3% of 120? When I translate, x equals 36 2/3% times 120. Okay, now notice that the mixed number inside the percent, especially the fractional part there, 2/3, if you try to convert that to decimal, it will be repeated decimal. It will be 0.66666 like that, right? So you will see if I try to convert this to decimal, it will not be a nice decimal. It will be repeated decimal. No. So instead of converting this percent to decimal, we will try to do it aside. We will convert this to fraction. Okay, 36 2/3%, that's equals to 36 2/3 over 100. Okay, that's the first step. And then I will convert the numerator there into an improper fractions. 36 times 3, that will be 108, plus 2, that's 110. And then from here I will do LCD method. That will give me 110 over 300, which I can reduce to be 11 over 30. Okay, now that's what 36 2/3% equal to. That's what I will replace that by. X equals to 11 over 30 times 120. Okay, now from here I ask myself, how do I compute 11 over 30 times 120? Do cross cancelling, of course, right? X equals to 44. Now you will not get these numbers if you try to convert this percent into decimal, because then you will end up with a lot of decimals to multiply, and in the end, of course, you get confused. Okay, now the key step of this question here is actually this part. Okay, be very aware of this. That's what you really need. That's for number 23. Number 24. Solve this equation here. Now you see that I have grouping symbol that I cannot combine like terms. Then I will do distribution. Okay, I'll do distribution. 0.2 times 0.3x. 2 times 3 is 6, but 2 decimal places with x, plus 0.2 times 1, that's 0.2, minus 0.3 times 1.2x, that's basically 3 times 12, that's 36, with 2 decimal places and x, plus 0.3 times plus, because it's negative times negative. Okay, and then 0.3 times 0.6 is 3 times 6 is 18, 2 decimal places, equals to x. Now from here I will combine like terms. I will combine these with this one here. Okay, you will see if you do the pancake, that will be negative, right? And then 0.3x, that's for the x term. As for the constant term, when you add them, that will be 0.38 equals to x. Now if you kind of like have no confidence, try to work it out. Okay, let's start again. The variable parts, the variable coefficients for the variable, that will be negative because this is larger than that one, right? And then because they have different sign, when you add them, that will be 0.36 minus 0.06. When you subtract, that will be 0.30 or just 0.3. Now of course you put the negative first, right? Okay, now the second one, when you add 0.2 and 0.18, it's supposed to look like this. Okay, remember, when you add or subtract, you need to pancake according to the place value. Now let's come back there. From here I will move the x to the other side. 0.38 equals to x plus 0.3x. when we add, that will be, no, it's not 0.4x. That's invisible 1 plus 0.3. If I write it down, it looks like this. Okay, that's 1.3. That's 1.3x, and then I divide by 1.3 both sides on the other side, right? Now, from here, then it depends on what you're gonna do. Do you want to make it into decimal or fraction? Let's try to make it decimal first. I move the decimal point once to the right. That's 3.8 over 13 equals to x. And you will see if I try, when I try to divide this, it will be a long decimal. Okay, let me do it somewhere. Let me do it here. 3.8 divided by 13, that's 0.2 for 26, and then 120, there will be 9, I believe, for 117, and then 30 here, that's for 2 again, that's 26, and 40, I believe that's 3 for 39, 0, dot dot dot. Okay, that's 0.29230 dot 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 equals to x. Okay, that's the answer in decimal. Now, I didn't give a hint at the beginning if you need to answer that in decimal or fraction. Now, if you don't have that hint, then the make sense answer will be something like this. Okay, Thomas, why don't we do the rounding? Why don't you tell us to do rounding and so on? That's because I want you to use your intuition. What is the appropriate answer? Okay, now however, if you try, let me show it another way. If you try to solve this using fraction, maybe I should say that you come from there instead. You push it twice to the right, push the decimal point twice to the right, you get 38 over 130 equals to x. Then from there, you reduce by 2, you will get 19 over 65 equals to x. Okay, now I will accept this answer. I will accept this answer. In fact, if I say write your answer in fraction, then that's the answer I want. Because I didn't say anything, then either one will be okay. Okay, now it's not really about the final, what the final answer. Of course, I want to see something, but the key steps actually here. You know, a lot of misunderstanding, especially with this, like the 0.06 and minus 0.36. A lot of people kind of like mess up the place values. Also 0.2 and 0.18. A lot of people, when they add this, believe it or not, they say this is 0.20 because they put the 2 underneath the 8. But it's not. It's not supposed to be like that. The 2 is not supposed to be underneath the 8. It should be in the same column with 8. With 1. Okay, not with 8. Okay, this is from fall 2011. Math 112 test 3, number 23 and number 24.